this video, I'm going to be talking about watch trends that I love and I absolutely hate. So let's start with the hate. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm just trying to have fun with this video, so let me know your comments down below on things that you like and dislike about watch trends nowadays. So the first one is big watches. You all know that I'm not a big fan of big watches. I actually think that 40 millimeters is too big for a guy with 6¼ inch wrists. I have a 40 millimeter sub, and I genuinely think it's too big on me. So when I say big watches though, I mean dinner plates. I mean watches that are exceed 42, 44 millimeters. Of course, if you're a diver or a pilot and you need a watch as a tool, then you're exempt, I guess you could say. But big watches, especially fashion watches that exceed 44 millimeters, I think are too big. I actually think that the Rolex Sky Dweller is also a watch it looks disproportionately too big for its bracelet and most guys that wear it. So big watches, I'm not a big fan of those. So that's number one. Watch trend number two is wearing a watch with a ton of bracelets on your wrist. I'm talking about guys who wear beads and string bracelets and chain bracelets all around their watch, and generally just guys who are wearing a lot of accessories nowadays. You know, there's a quote by Chanel that says, when you walk out the door, look in the mirror and take one thing off. And I think nowadays most guys should take off 10 things. I see a lot of guys wearing so many accessories all at once. For example, a tie bar, a bracelet, a hat, earrings, a backpack, a fanny pack, a belt, colorful socks, colorful shoes. I just think it's overkill. I personally like to have a minimalist sense of style, so really just one accessory. I don't really consider a watch an accessory, but if you want to wear a hat or sunglasses, or a belt or something like that, that's fine, but anything beyond that I think is overkill. So watches and a ton of bracelets on your wrists, that trend needs to die. Trend number three is fake gold watches. Now, I actually had one before I even knew what watches were all about in this crazy world that we're all in. I used to have a fake gold Fossil watch. It actually looked like a Daytona. I didn't even know what a Daytona was at the time, but the watch nonetheless turned silver only after a few wears, and it actually even stopped running. So super cheap watch from Fossil, but it was expensive. It was probably $250. So yeah, gold watches, if you can stay away from it, fake gold watches, then it's your best bet. Otherwise, just get real gold or rock stainless steel sports. Trend number four, now this is just my personal opinion, but smart watches. I personally like a watch that you can just throw on and head out the door and not worry about charging it. And so, you know, I have so many things that I need to plug in my life already: a phone, an iPad, a laptop, a speaker, a humidifier, a fan, a vacuum. It's just, at this point in my life, I just want to disconnect. So if I can just disconnect from one more technological piece, then that makes my life a lot better and happier. But I do think smartwatches do play a big role in a lot of people's lives. They actually save lives too. But for me, smartwatches is just not a thing that I would introduce into my life at this time. Pick number five, and this is a controversial pick for me, but as a young guy, I'm not into vintage watches. I just don't have a connection with watches from the 60s and 50s, even 70s and 80s. I was not born in that era, so I don't know much about it. I know young guys who love history and love old watches, and that's fine, but personally, I just don't have any connection with vintage watches. You know, I'm a modern guy. I want a modern watch. I want to buy a brand new watch, and for that watch to tell a story. And when I'm 50, 60, this, 2018 Submariner will be vintage. So I'm personally not interested in vintage watches for that reason. Number six, and that is YouTubers promoting cheap watches like Movement and Vincero. I'm talking about especially car YouTubers who are into mechanical objects, who appreciate quality craftsmanship, and are still promoting Vincero watches. These are guys like Vehicle Virgins and Hubie's Garage, two channels that I love, and they both actually have Submariners. Vehicle Virgins has a solid gold Submariner, and Hoovy's Garage has a stainless steel Rolex. And they both promote Vincero watches as if they're the greatest watches ever made. So that was a lot of hate when it comes to watch trends. And let's talk about the good. So the first good thing that I love about the current watch state is a lot of women wearing stainless steel sports watches, especially big watches. I've seen so many women downtown wearing Submariners and GMTs, and I think it looks amazing. I really support it, especially a woman that can rock a big watch. It doesn't really look big on her if she's rocking it with confidence. So I've seen Hulks, I've seen GMTs on women, especially the colorful ones, the Batman and the Hulk I've seen a lot of. So I really love that trend. The other trend I love is watches on rubber straps. I recently tried on a Seiko 5 with a rubber strap and it felt amazing. I love bracelets first, stainless steel bracelets, and second of all, I love rubber. I'm not a big fan of leather, only for environmental reasons. I do think they look great, but if I could stay away from leather, I would, and so I think rubber is a great alternative. Let's have a look at some watches that I think look amazing on rubber. The first one being the Aquanaut. I think it's a beautiful watch on the rubber. And then you have the Yachtmaster, which I think also looks amazing. And the last thing I love about the current watch trend is rocking a sports model on a formal or dress occasion. For example, Roger Federer rocking a Submariner with a suit, and vice versa, rocking a dress watch like this Patek Philippe with jeans and t-shirt. I think mixing and matching those two styles looks amazing, and when pulled off correctly, it looks impeccable. So there you go, some things I like and dislike about current watch trends. Let me know what you think of that. Again, this is just my opinion. So yeah, comment down below and we'll see you in the next video.